The issue of the Nigerian boxer who died boxing in Ghana. Who can say Obukum GBA for CDIB when Obukum Okulebu.
GBA for a federation.
No, federation is amateur, way professional.
Okay.
I find it very interesting that they want to run away from their responsibility. Say, okay, induced coma. I know that say, induced coma. Do you know what induced coma is? Okay, induced coma.
Induced.
Yeah.
Induced coma.
Yeah.
You can't be induced.
Induced coma. About who use that expression?
No,
it's important. Who use that expression?
It's brought up a lot of issues about standards, about safety, about of course this weekend, the General Secretary of the Nigerian Boxing, how is it even called? Authority, sanction.
Maybe a MB.
No, yes, I mean basically MBA. It was the issue of the guy not sanctioned to fight the fight on Saturday. He was sanctioned to fight on Friday. Or chance now in Tiabon, the boxer fought on Saturday. That he had even left Accra to Aflao, but had to come because he was promised extra $500 as part of his purse. And a man Bekoye.
How $500?
Yes, as part of increase, autopsy, and in your press release, say autopsy be ready and how do we deal with this at NCBO and Chebian in another data and in football and in boxing?
I mean, me had your phone, so comments be attributed to Nigeria for no, but I don't know where I seem to have saved it because he made some. These are quotes. Remy Abodorin, General Secretary of Nigeria Boxing Board of Control.
Boxing Board of Control.
The GBA president said once Segun Olanrewaju came with his medical papers from Nigeria, then there was no need to do another test in Ghana before the fight. That is preposterous. Remy Abodorin, or no, or can't. Apparently, GBA president's not granting interview. I don't have the quotes here, but I have the quotes of Papeya or Kasa on behalf of the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control. Okay, even without this, to the best of my knowledge, say a sanction a boxing fighter, it goes through a lot of things.
98.9.
Key amongst Nema Ebefim, personal crowd, they say no is Scasem, they meet me, I can attend there. But key amongst Nema menim say film, the health of the you may find say the word no crying the
boxer,
the boxers. It would have to go through a rigorous check, especially at the professional level. And Sana, Doctor Sanction. Intina every boxing match be a doctor ringside. Sano Abia sebi bimpo na e wone ho. But Abia omoka say, oh, even with this condition, bit me akwa. Say Isia, because of more the medical records of that person, no quickly they would know what to do. In this case, this is not the first time Yakun boxing Ukruma. There have been a lot of sanctioned professional bouts in this country, at least in my lifetime. Means being
Bibri.
Inti adia mean see ewo that particular fight where I say niema matiti we chirido. And it's becoming a bit of as a sanity, as a yes sanity. One of the things I heard, they say sebi alate ni free mukrampo no. Yes, yenene sheshe say o me lose fight. It's one of the things I've heard. You say yenene sheshe so o me lose. I've heard of funny things like that in my lifetime. But where you're from me to Ukroma, see any shares on me lose. Another thing my mat say, the pape Remy Abodorin Kase say from Niema Omonim no Nigeria Nino test. Ewa Nigeria and san obedru Ukroma. Into obedru Ukroma no. Me fan say results no the buy no. Eni na sebiu ehun hia say yenye bibi fufro. Se sanet tia. Because I won't pretend to have all the facts. The sanity here, that would be a bit strange. Because bit me about sabi you smart test. Maybe I'm a fair 3 baby, and I'm a pair next be no kikabu mumami. and I'm be present here. Into also why there's a reason why to the beer said oh pay Juma Krana company need to make us say a particular hospital or one hospital be our pay.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
Because they want to ensure, because they know the standards of that particular hospital. So
you can't forge any report.
Because baby or Hodoma, Omon can't show, but ABA no matter says our hospital, or meet me a BBM now the Aba. Until they want you to go to a particular place. Now the results number. Results now, Papa di free Nigeria de buy. Want to mean case oh here no so say ABA na okay. In my opinion, they should have done the second one here. I don't know, say practice near say will be the BB free baby aba.
Always have second opinion.
There's always your free BB second eye or second opinion. There should have been one. Sisia shall say me diaba. Sadly, shall say me diaba. Papa ya training kwa. Or webusia. Or Wadofo, they have lost him, and then you kuna Yakobon. And then the other parts that we are also hearing. Obia share a footage of the bout with me.
Yeah.
Abranti any tour form no. Me who technical term I mean use, but he looked like he was gone.
Yeah.
Unless it will be a video for, but there will be a me adom at the Sunday, you know. As a no call. Then she say, and the two says, Sebu, say BBC, even at the ringside. Doctor now, or you're qualified enough to handle any kind of case in the bouts. And any kind. The Tosuminu, ambulance are near the Nebeko. The Tosumiansa. Exactly. Omo no more chahwesia, omo expertise grad. How were they handling him? The Toso 9, the distance between baby a yakun to kwano
and the
nearest facility. Ye check is an yama way before your best sanction even the venue for a bout. And answer your ship nipano individually and some your best sanction the bouts. In tea about the saying and a wing as a shrieing. About the saying a wing shrieing. Member Bobia support, but Sebi. These are the basic questions anybody would ask about the saying. Ubin Slimu about the saying, and a wing na shriya. Sisi Ababa your blots on our boxing space.
Yeah.
They be at Beckasem a year ago, and Ukraine 2 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, even 100 years ago, I free man near Kono. Still a bay history. Say boxer bibaha and a sebi obi wuha.
I think first question is clearly boxing now yes, professional boxing, right? So even for our Ghanaian boxers, do we have the medical history of all our boxers or Mukon Hasi? So that you are able to identify say boxer we feel the amateur days you see or underlying BP but obey me akon you see or underlying or a diabetic but you see or a particular medical issue but if we handle it well obey me akon do we have proper history of all our local boxers are omokun edi enije brain? Do we have that? 2. Some Nigerian we are obey paper no the but could we have been more meticulous in taking his medical history,
especially considering sport are obey?
Absolutely.
Boxing and to say any other sport. Yeah. Sport be a counter sport, but we counter sports no. I'm not doing. It's a noble art of self-defense.
So my thing is that, or we went to the normal notion. Nyamebe nyame adom.
Oh okay. So na mode okay.
Oh na mode okay.
Oh we in a way okay.
Oda say nanti ko hospital omdu o ka say o majo ato.
Oh see me now. Okay me yeah check up.
So you see there was one like that. Me call normal pharmacy. And I know more BPR and I'm say me check him say boss, what is the problem? na hospital crack here to one am say that's oh so you see it is important say in a sport like that we will not underrate or take medicine for granted. The medical conditions of boxers for granted. And it's a Nigerian here obey or buy and the medical history. You will be able to make a decision, and it's important say this thing that has happened, we must take the medical issue of our boxers more seriously. So right from amateur boxing, with medical history, we should have it, and it should be on. It should be properly documented.
But people have gone home with
all kinds of conditions.
As a result of lack of proper medical
care. No
care now, funny serious. People have gone home with some conditions that affect them the rest of their lives.
And they have still been affected. It's just like Guinea player no to it's the same thing. Obian we enti me and your feet mano. Obaye no she call no ni no ko ba me no ba fe. So it's important that look, we take it a bit more seriously. We get this nyame be attitude na ma nimguase akan nimguase na akan na nye ekoye say Nigeria and any more very good relationship in the, ekoye say any other country na omodishi ababewu wa ha simple.
So again, I'm not seeing the agency in both the GBA and the ministry in trying to find proper standards for the boxers.
It's very important.
Football, they see the alacrity in which the football for now, and the security protocol, but in the area of boxing, be sad.
Yeah, but I think that you see,
even though the minister has called for investigations to the matter.
Oh, look, it's not investigation into the matter. The point is that GBA for by now they should be answering questions. They should be answering questions at the Ministry of Youth and Sports. They must be answering questions at the National Sports Authority. National Sports Authority, only board. That's the way that we can't only board. And I don't know and I President, how long does it take to constitute a board? The president is supposed to give him a board so that he is able to take major decisions. So, and for me, look, it's very, very disappointing. Asemna abana dilly-dally with the issue. No, and it's a country to country issue. It's a country to country issue. Obiti said ababewu. And what due diligence did you do on the Nigerian boxer to ensure say he was fit to fight?